Now that's a bass, huh? That's a slab crappie, gang. Just doesn't get any better. The smallmouth here in Champlain is phenomenal.
Hey guys, it's Sunday night. That means it's time again for another weekend roundup. How you guys doing? I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy, host, fellow angler, and look what we got. Josh is back in the studio. We wrangled him up from Texas. How you doing, buddy?
Fantastic, George. How are you?
Oh, just doing great, man. It's hot up here, but I mean, coming from Texas, that's not a fair statement, I would think.
It feels nice to be back in some reasonable weather.
Yeah, we can maybe do some fishing. Hey, look, before we get started, guys, I got to thank a few folks. Of course, we got Tim Keebler at Finseeker River Guide Service. You know, Tim's the premier guide on the Delaware River. Be sure you get out, get your trophy, whether it's, shad, walleye, smallmouth, stripers, muskie, those catfish, even those channel cats, even those flatheads. Get out with Tim. Book your trip now, 215-262-4811. Check out Tim Keebler at Finseeker Guide Service. Also, Tony Maja products. Tony gets you into those trophy stripers, those bunker spoons, mojos, easy outriders, custom rods, all the gear you need to get in that big old trophy striper. TonyMajaProducts.com. Go check them out. Also, the Fisherman Magazine. Each week, Jim Hutchison gives you a look ahead for everything for the upcoming weekend, and you might even catch me giving you a little tip what's happening right here in the Poconos. Check them out at thefisherman.com and pick yourself up a subscription. It's $29.95. Get you 38 issues, everything you need for all the tips, tactics, and tackle to make us all better fishermen. Well, what do you think, Josh? It's a pretty good day out here. I think I wish the weather would cool down a little bit. I mean, it's been in the 90s. I was actually out. I was doing my report for the Fisherman Magazine. I want to play a little clip, and it's kind of funny because I look back at it and kind of laugh. Check this out.
Well, hey, thanks, Jim. I was just checking water temperature here at the lake. 87 degrees. Man, that's warm. But I'll tell you what, that's just the right temperature for me when I like to go and hunt stripers. Yeah, 87-degree temperature, because I know where they're not going to be. They're not going to be in the top 20 feet of the water, and that really narrows down the area. I got to look for fish.
So what we were talking about there, it's 87 degrees. I think you were out, last night? You said it was 89?
Yeah, it's getting real hot.
That's absolutely crazy. Before we get too started, I do want to do one thing. I know we could talk fishing all day long, but this show is more about you guys. I want you guys to call in, hit us up on that Facebook Messenger. Go to my page, George Shower, hit up that little phone icon there on the top. Give us a call. We want to talk to you. Tell us your fish story, what you've been catching. And join the conversation. Even just say hi. We'd really appreciate it. Okay? So in the meantime, Josh and I got a lot to catch up on. He's just back from Texas. And you said it was just too hot to even fish down there, right?
Yeah, in the summer, in the day. I mean, even at night, you're talking 88, 89 degrees with insane humidity. So it's a little unbearable at the moment. And to be truthful, I'd rather not do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you. If you just, especially if it's not going to be productive, that's the big thing.
It can be really slow.
I mean, it's one thing to go out and work for a fish, but when you got to put so much effort in, it's just it's just not worth it.
You start sweating out of places you didn't know you could sweat from.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah. But even here, like I say, it was 87 degrees. It was 89 when you were out last night. I know we've had some success midsummer like this, but it's really tough.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting in, what are some of the tips you do for fishing hot summertime stuff? I know we've been successful, but let's share that with some of the guys.
Definitely need a lot of patience, because you're not going to go out and if you're targeting stripers, for example, you're not going to go out and probably even catch 5 in a trip. I mean,
we've been at it. I'm not even call it 1. It's been so bad.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess the best advice is be realistic on your catching expectations. And in terms of actual advice, I'd say focus on deep water points. So where you have points from shore extending out and they poke into the abyss of the lake. So there's a few spots, 25 feet surrounded by 80.
Right.
It's a great place to anchor up and just throw a piece of big bait and wait.
And just wait. Yeah, it's a waiting game.
Yep.
I think a big thing we do, I think we've been more successful, is actually waiting until nighttime, basically, because it's water cools down, the fish will move up on those points and feed a little bit more heavier.
Absolutely. I say this is night fishing season.
It is night fishing season, yeah. But even from the bank, I mean, you don't even need the boat. I mean, I know we've been out and caught a lot of stripers, right off the bank. It just big hunks of chicken liver.
Exactly. Over the years, I've caught way more fish at night from shore than I've ever had from my boat.
Yeah.
So it's very, very doable.
And catfish. I mean, we've been
Yeah.
out and caught giant catfish. I think I got my PB at night. We were out a couple years ago and
Giant
got
fish.
20-pound.
25 maybe.
I don't know.
We didn't put it
weigh
on a scale. Massive channel catfish.
That was I got to do that again. We haven't done much of that lately. So
No, we haven't. We really haven't.
hey guys, don't forget, give us a call here, hop on the Facebook Messenger, give us a call, join in the conversation, even just say hi, tell us what you've been fishing for. We just want to hear from you. It's a great time, and this is your show. No guest tonight. We're just talking fishing and want you to join in. So please give us a holler or leave us a comment. Let's if you can't call in, just leave a comment on what you've been up to as well.
A good note on this hot summer fishing would be if you want to, like I said, there isn't much that you can do with great rapidity right now. One of the few things you probably could do is carp fish.
Right.
One of the few things you could catch big fish in good succession. So it's an option to explore. You know, some people have some bad feelings towards them, but
Well, that's really kind of funny because that's how you and I started fishing.
That's right, yeah.
You were watching one of the videos and said, "Hey, let's go out and do some carp." And I think the first time we got what you call a starter carp. It was
it was tiny. Probably one of the smallest I've ever caught.
yeah, but we redeemed ourselves. We had a couple shows
Yeah,
after that and
yeah,
got some really nice ones in the 20-pound range.
Yep.
But
Really
that-
nice sized fish fight like crazy.
My favorite one was we were out doing them on the boat for carp.
Yep.
Just the fight, like you said, when you're fighting from shore, they're going to dig in the weeds, and
Yep.
you're just bringing up as much weed as you are fish.
Clump sometimes, yeah.
From the boat, it's the other way around. You're pulling them off of that shore, and you're getting them in open water,
They dig deep, they dive.
and you really get to feel
Fight
how
different.
strong they are.
Yeah.
That's a great fish there. I love that stuff. So we definitely need to do more of that. Oh, we got a couple comments here. Let's see who's on the board. Ant Glasgow, how you doing, buddy? From across the pond. Good to see you, buddy.
How's it going, Ant?
Brandon Gibbons. Hey, Brandon, how you doing, buddy? And Samantha, hello.
Hey, hello, for people.
Yeah, how you guys doing? Why don't you call in? Let's chat a little bit. See what you guys are fishing. Come on, hit me up here. Be a good time. But yeah, carp. I mean, people don't even realize how much of a good, just a sport fish. If there's not like this, there's nothing else biting. You know, you get out and maybe you can catch some nice bluegills and stuff like that. There's great pan fishing. But it's a good time to get out and do some real good sport fishing. Get your hands on a 20-pound fish.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
I mean, it's the most popular game fish in the world.
Yeah, especially in Europe. I mean, people here in the States don't think of it that way. But
here in the States, it would be the biggest fish would be large, or game fish would be largemouth. But
right.
if you looked at the rest of the world collectively, they like carp.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Hey, Ryan Sturgis joined us. How you doing, buddy? What's new with you? Why don't you call in and talk to us a little bit? Say hi, see what's new. Tell us what you've been fishing. I know I've seen a few of your posts. You've definitely been out. Love to hear from you. But yeah, stripers, they get tough this time of year. And, you know, I was saying in my fishing report, this is the kind of time of year I like to fish them. You know me, I like my trawling. I like my downriggers. And we were out using those Tony Maja. Even, you know, I love those little casting mojos he's had. He's got those little 3-ounce ones that I just fell in love with. I want to go out with the big boys, the 9-inch shad, the big ones. I mean, you go out for those 30, 40 pounders. We are going to kill them this year in Beltsville.
We're going to do it.
We're going to get this water temp down just a tad. And I think we're going to go out with the big boat and see if we can't get into a few of these.
Right as fall starts to drop the temp.
Just a little bit, yeah. Hey, here's your buddy Yuri. He was saying, how'd you make out last night, Josh? The chicken worked out for them. Stripers weren't wanting bucktails being trolled. Yeah, that's the guy I think you were talking to about it.
Wasn't out for very long last night, Yuri. It was good seeing you. I went out, like I said, I was just going to spoon, and I ended up catching just a few white perch. Just wasn't really feeling it. Didn't stay out very long. So I'm going to start. I don't know what's more excuses I can think of. Oh, there's bad drift speed.
It was windy. Yeah. You can think of something.
No, I caught a few white perch on my spoons, and then I kind of lost motivation and went in. But I'll probably be back out again tonight.
Yeah, there you go. I hope that answered your question, Yuri. And hey, thanks for checking in. Really appreciate that. But you know, I was talking to Tim Keebler over at Finseeker Guide Service. He's been just slaying smallmouth on the Delaware. I mean, you know, it's hot, but the river's cooler, obviously, because it's, you know, being fed by all those mountain streams.
Right.
And I've been watching some of the pictures he's been posting, and he was out the other day by himself, and he just slayed them one after the other. And he had some real nice chunky ones too. So smallmouth's good. Even in the lake, I think, with the temperatures, you get down that secondary drop off 25 feet or so.
Definitely.
You're getting into that thermocline, definitely in that cooler water. You're going to get into some good fish. It's going to take some work.
They're down there. Yeah.
You just got to really slow things down. You know, we live bait them sometimes. We get in there with what alewives, or if we can get, alewives are easy because we can net them.
Yes.
If we can get them. Otherwise, you get yourself a couple dozen of the small or medium, fatheads or shiners, and just something down there. We're going to slow that presentation down and just drag them off the bottom with some jig heads.
That's
or
key.
something.
Yeah, yep. It's just slow and natural in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, and at nighttime probably is even the best.
Definitely.
What's up, Ant? It says 11 p.m. here. Eating sausage rolls. Dangerous, I know. Really wish I was fishing, but Harrison's taking all my time. You're a father now, Ant. That's part of the game. We've all been there. But you got him his first ride, so he'll be out there probably real soon with you. Get on that boat and have some fun. Thank you for checking in again. Really appreciate it. How's fishing out there with you guys? I mean, I know you've been under a bit of quarantine over there in the UK, but have you had a chance to get out, Ant? Let us know. So what have you guys been out fishing? A lot of people here saying hello. What have you been getting on? So Yuri's got some stripers. What else we got? And gives us the horns. Yeah, buddy. That's for Harrison too. Give Harrison one for us. Love the Ed Glasgow. He's awesome. But yeah, so yeah, come on, guys, call in, say hello, talk to us a little bit. We want to hear what you're out fishing, how you're fishing it, if you're having any luck at all in this heat. I know Josh is just back from Texas, so we'll probably get out in the next couple days, get out in the river, probably at nighttime. I mean, it's just been a mess down the park.
Oh,
lately.
no, that's not been a pretty situation.
No, either that or we'll head over to the Delaware maybe and
It's another option.
Hit the cooler water from some smallmouth, maybe some walleye. I think walleye's been doing okay in the river too. You're getting that deeper holes.
Sure, yeah.
Getting that cooler water.
A little more oxygen in the river. They handle the heat a lot better.
Yeah. Brandon Gibbons says he's been hitting smallies and largemouth. Where are you hitting them, Brandon? Any place good? Nice. Or any place you would wish to share and not spot burn? Pennsylvania, right? That's
right. The Northeast.
The Northeast, yeah. Somewhere up in New England, right? That's great. So anyway, yeah, but even saltwater. I think you were out trying to do some fluking the other day too, yeah?
Yeah. The very first trip I did after I got back from Texas was the day after pretty much. Went on a full day fluke trip where I caught this fantastic sunburn. You might get to see. That was a really tough trip because there was no drift. And anyone who does a lot of fluke fishing will know if there's no drift,
you're not. Yeah,
very, very difficult.
Did anybody get anything on the boat? Or?
Yeah, I think there was a handful of limits. Not limits. I'm sorry, a handful of keepers and a couple guys got limits.
Okay,
so yeah,
it's good to get out. I just enjoy.
Fluking is very conditional.
Yeah,
if you're blasting too fast, it could be impossible, and if you're not moving, it can be impossible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, me and my son Jeremy were out. Finally I'm rigging up a pontoon boat to start guiding next year. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But getting it all set up, so we were out a little bit Friday afternoon. Went on probably about 1:30, and it was probably a mistake to go out that late because it was just the sun was brutal, everything was hot, water was hot, and we tried to do a little drop shotting in some off the drop offs, probably in 30 feet of water, hoping to pick up a smallmouth, and just wasn't happening. I think the water was too much. They're starting to get a lot of people on the water, jet skis and stuff. And, we made a drift run for probably about 2 or 3 hours and we just gave up. It was just kind of a mess there,
Something on the note of fishing in the day, later in the day, especially on the weekend, is there is a visible difference in water clarity on an extremely busy day on the lake. And a lake as clear as a lake.
No spot burning here.
Even a slight deterioration in the clarity in the top water is going to diminish the light going deep.
That's true.
And I think that affects the fishing way more than people think, because if there isn't light reflecting off the bait fish, it becomes a lot more difficult to corral them and to feed on them.
Right. That's true. Plus you get all the algae blooms this time of year with the warm water. So just makes it more difficult.
All compacts and makes it. Yeah.
Let's see. Ant says he can fish over there now in the UK, but you got to stay 3 feet away from each other, just in case we spit when we talk. No spitting. That's well, at least you can get out, Ant. That's great. I knew you guys were sequestered for quite some time, so glad you can get out. Jay Batcha joined us from YouTube. He says fishing is very slow. Yeah, it is, Jay. We were just talking about that. I mean, you got to work for every fish you get right now. Yeah. I mean, it took forever to get summer here. We were in that damp, cool, spring, and bang, everything turned on, and now we're wishing it was cool.
No, I'm ready. I'm all ready for winter.
Not quite winter yet. I know you're a big ice fishing fan. That's more your thing. Oh, you got here. Let's see. Jen Wong, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you joining us. Yuri says he doesn't know anyone likes to fish Lake Ontario. Steelheads and Kings has been on fire. He limited out on Kings, Steelheads, and Lakers in a couple hours. I suggest, actually, we have a guy in our trophy board this week that got into a gigantic king salmon up there, and I couldn't agree more. The only thing, Brandon, where do you go? Because I know you have to get out really deep. I mean, some deep water for them. I mean, normally we troll up by it's towards the Black River, up in that area, and Henderson Harbor area is where we normally go. And there's a place up there called the Trench, and we generally run up and down that trench. It's 135, 140 feet deep, and the salmon run up and down there. And the Lakers, you just bounce your stuff off the bottom for the Lakers. Yep. But that's where we run them. But I see guys are heading out way, way deep into the shipping lanes to catch the salmon. I guess that's what you got to do to get out, especially this weather.
You know what I've seen, and I think it's only started happening in the last couple of years because of the dawn of new technology. They are catching salmon and steelhead and all that out in the abyss of Lake Ontario like never before with live scope, the sonar.
Oh, really?
Because of such an insane sonar range. I'm going to misquote it, but in deep water, well over like 100 feet of scanning range. So they're actually picking them out and using spinning rods to vertically jig them.
That's crazy.
Or insane. And that's just something that hasn't existed before that technology.
Yeah, live scope is the way. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Sure.
What we got? Jen. Brandon says Susquehanna Lake took a while to produce some fish. Fatties earlier in the season, Prompton State Park, and it's so hot and slow bite. Yeah, that's what it is, Brandon. It's just hanging in there. Was winter to summer, wasn't exactly. It went right from winter into summertime this year. It was kind of crazy. Why don't you guys call in and talk to us a little bit? Hit us up on Facebook Messenger. Hit that phone icon and give us a call and talk to us a little bit. We'd love to hear from you. Yuri says he got out in the mouth of the Salmon River by Pulaski. That's a good spot. I fished out of there. I think it was called North Pond or something like that. There's a little place that comes out right. I think it's right north of the Salmon River, and it's a great place to stay. And you can launch out of there, and you come right out, and you head right out in Lake Ontario. And you're right by Pulaski. That's spoons, bait holders, but it wasn't to affect. I think that's the problem. Is it's so hot. You have 130, 150. You may not be deep enough on some of these things.
Wow.
They like that cold water, and you got to get to that.
I wouldn't know. I've never ever done that.
Yeah.
It's all you, George. I have no experience.
It's a neat place to fish, but it's a hard place to fish. One of the things I would do if anyone that plans to go up there, if you're not going with somebody that's been there and lived it, Brandon Ned Riggs. Oh yeah, for local bass and smallmouth, I think, right? That's probably one of your best bets.
That's such a great all-around presentation.
It really is nice, slow, and real sensitive finesse fishing. But if you go to big water, I mean, it's a destination trip. You're going to spend money to go up there. It's not like you're going down the street. Go out with a guide. Get on a charter boat, do something, learn how they're doing it. I went up there for like 2 or 3 years in a row before I figured it out. And it just took me forever. I mean, the guys were messing me up there. Oh, you got to bounce them on the bottom. All I'm catching is lake trout. Well, there's no salmon down there. They were messing with me, So you got to get out with a guy. Salmon are down 45, 50 feet, and they're in that, below that thermocline. There's lake trout on the bottom. They're not salmon on the bottom. So you got to get in there.
You were being thrown out.
I was being thrown under the bus. Yeah. Caught some great lake trout, but that was not what we were hunting. We figured out, we started catching some kings, and, it all worked out in the end. But boy, it took me, 3 trips, and they're not cheap. I mean,
oh no, I heard stories about your trips up there and what they might have cost.
Yeah. It's not bad when you got 3 people chipping in, but still it's a pretty penny to go up there and fish for a little bit. So, but yeah, go with a guide, even just one day, half days. Figure out what they're doing, and then you can emulate that on your boat and save yourself a bunch of time and money.
It is definitely the fastest way to learn a new fishery.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's see. Brandon says, again, a lot of pressure. What's going on? It's the only thing you can do. Oh, yeah. It's just, you do what you got to do. I don't know if you've seen pictures of Beltsville over the weekend. It was just absolutely mobbed.
Oh, I mean,
you couldn't even get on there if you wanted to. Not that you even want to, with the amount of people that were out. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, all the state parks are like that. I think all the recreational areas, everybody that's been, cooped up and, restricted from getting out and doing activities, it's like everybody's exploding. They're just out and just pounding the hell out of, any of these areas.
It's been busy.
Yeah. That's actually why, I got there a little bit on Friday. I figured let me sneak out of work a little bit early and hit the water for a couple hours.
I mean, going there on Saturday, Sunday is just, I hope you're ready for the pressure.
The pressure is an understatement.
Yeah.
It's kind of a why bother. But like I was telling guys in the fishing report, I mean, you got to find those spots where people aren't. There's a lot of little hidden lakes, ponds, streams, especially up here in the mountains that aren't like recreational areas.
Sure.
People aren't going to come and picnic. Even like I seen guys catching trout. There's guys on Facebook, monster trout. They're catching 2 weeks ago. I mean, we're still in 90-degree weather and they're catching trout in these mountain streams and big ones too. Really nice.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there's lots of options. I don't think we have to be stuck with the.
It's a good point, actually. Speaking of trout, a really good summer option would be Round Valley.
Round Valley. Well, Justin Lerner was there yesterday or last week. He was on our trophy board and he was out getting Lakers in Round Valley as well. Cool. So that's a really good spot.
It seems like everything's just under. I was just going to say it's another one of those fish that's just under the thermocline.
It is. It's. We'll put it this way: what fish wants to be in 87 or 89 degree water? It's just way too hot. You're going to have bass up there, of course, under lily pads. I mean,
it's carp. Not much else though.
It's going to be really hard to fish. So you got to really look at where you're at, where the fish are going to be. They're like us. We don't want to be out in the sun roasting. They're going to find something.
This is what happens when we're out in the sun roasting.
It's ugly, man.
Yeah.
So find those cool spots, and see if you can get into something, especially away from all the crowds. Okay, guys, we're going to be moving on here soon. If you want to call in, be sure you go on Facebook Messenger, give us a holler, talk to Josh and I. We'd love to hear from you, even just to say hi. But joining the conversation, we'd love to hear from you. Ryan says, I heard Round Valley closed till the 27th.
Oh, that's
it
right.
did?
I did hear something about that, actually. Now, I'm not sure the details on it, but I did hear something like that, actually.
No kidding.
Now I think about it. I didn't.
Justin must have snuck in right before it closed then.
It was recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm just thinking about that. I did see something.
Yeah, that's a shame.
That is a shame. The ramp's completely out of the water. The big drop down in the last time I was there, it's a dirt launch. You're 4-wheel drive, mudding it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a good fishing spot. Maybe it'll
be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we fished out there with your buddy
Zach Merchant.
Yeah.
He's the king of. Well, his nickname is the Prince of Round Valley.
The Prince of Round.
It's well earned. He's fantastic.
You look at him fishing. I don't know how he gets. What do you have? 19 rods on his boat at one time and trolling them. I don't know how he has just one, and he fishes wire on top of it.
And he won't tangle.
That's what I don't get. How does he come up without just big ball of like steel wool?
Just precision.
He's really got it dialed. Well, that's his program. That's what he does, and
that's why he wins all the tournaments out there.
I was going to say he's got it dialed in. It's good stuff. So yeah, I guess it is closed. We'll have to find someplace else to.
And I think its sister lake, Merrill Creek, is probably also closed then because that's privately owned and they are very. Well, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. They're very stingy with how access is provided. Like
Gotcha.
There's no wintertime access there.
Gotcha. And New Jersey does, I think, a little bit better job than Pennsylvania in stocking and how they manage some of their waters.
Yep.
I know they just got the variety of fish they put in. I know we fished a lake and got some salmon in the wintertime and some nice trout. It was really, really cool because you want salmon, you got to go to Lake Ontario normally or upstate New York. So that was a great.
New Jersey has a lot of diverse options.
Yeah. Wish we would do that over here in Pennsylvania a little bit more.
Yeah, we need to redistribute some of that stock trout funding to sustainable fisheries.
That'd be a good thing. But a lot of guys are out. You actually said you caught some white perch. That's a great fish to go for too this time of year.
Fantastic fish to eat and very easy to catch.
Load up on a bunch. I don't think there's even a limit, like 50 or
50.
Yeah. So
it's the same family of stripers.
You can feed the village with a load of 50 of them for sure.
And there's times when you could catch 50. I mean, there's a bite in the spring when they come up the creeks that you could limit. I mean,
really?
It's insane.
That's cool. They're fun to catch. I mean, they're pretty spunky little.
Definitely. Yeah.
I don't know if you call them panfish. I think they're.
Yeah, they're in the maroon family, same as striper and yellow bass.
Okay.
Yeah, I think is the other species in there.
But they are good eating. Time for some fish tacos for sure.
Yeah.
But I seen guys, our good friend Eric Goodstall, I seen him just post today. He's got some really good panfish bite on those giant, like the ones you caught out in the ice fishing.
Yes.
Those giant bluegills. Yeah. I don't know where you get them or what they're feeding these things, but
I think in that particular place where we caught those giant ones, I think they were eating tadpoles.
Really?
Just a massive amount of tadpoles in there. And I think that's what they're eating.
Yeah, you and Stevie really hooked up.
That was crazy, right?
Yeah, that was a good time.
11 inches. Bluegills.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Where are they in the summertime?
In Pennsylvania, so not like even going to some crazy panfish location.
Right. Another thing we want, I meant to get a hold of our buddy Matt Trombley up there at Third Alarm Charters. And with all this COVID stuff, it's been a little tough, but to get up there and do that July jigging for lake trout up there on, what lake was that? Champlain. Yeah, Lake Champlain. That's something we got to get back up with Matt and do.
Yeah, we need to touch base with him. He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. Now he's just a super guide. I mean, he's just a great fellow to begin with. He's fun to talk to, really knowledgeable. But I mean, even when we went last time and the action wasn't happening for the lake trout, weather kicked in. We couldn't even get out in the big water. So he took us in the back, got us some smallmouth.
Yeah,
that was
a giant sheep's head.
The sheep's head. I still think of that. That was such a crazy fight on light line. I think we were only on 6 or 8 pound test on those little light rods.
That's right. Do you remember what it was on? It was on what was the name of that rig? Because one of us was throwing a.
No, I hit the Ned rig. He hit the Ned rig.
Hit the Ned rig. Okay.
And the Nico rig was the other one.
That's what it was. Yep.
But we were catching lots of largemouth, smallmouth, really finesse baits. It was the same thing as we had here. It was a real warm summer up there. Water was down, a couple feet there,
right? If
I recall. And he said, "Look, guys, we got to slow it down. It's really hot. Fish are down." So it was all like Ned rigs and Nico rigs.
Yeah.
It was just really slow. Yeah, Jay Batcha, hey, it says, wish PA would stock that. Yeah, no kidding. We've been talking about that since we were up there. That some of these lakes, I think they would be ideal. And there's lots of like mussels in like Beltsville.
They do great. Yeah.
Clean up some of the mussel population and stuff like that. I think you're right, Jay. That'd be a perfect opportunity for.
I'm no aquatic biologist, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any detriment that they would have on that ecosystem. They don't eat the things that most other things in that lake eat. I don't think they would impact much.
There's no competition.
No.
I say plus they clean up that mussel population a little bit too. And what a game fish. I mean, I hear they're not much for eating, like Matt says, but holy cow, they eat. I think I had a 7 or 8 pound.
And it was probably 8. It was like really nice one.
On that light line, it was one heck of a
big
fight.
Gnarly head.
It was great.
It'd be good for shore fishing at that lake too, because just a really great bait for them is just shrimp.
Oh, okay.
Which is strange because there's no shrimp.
Well, they eat shellfish and mollusks and stuff
true.
like that.
But that's a really popular bait for them.
Awesome. All right, nobody's going to call in and talk to us today. I'm upset. We set this whole show up for you guys to talk, and nobody's calling in and saying hello. I was hoping we'd be able to do another one that we had so many callers. Maybe not this time.
People are shy.
Hey, you know what I wanted to tell you. I had a message on YouTube, and somebody says, "I wish you'd go back to your old style videos. I don't like these podcast videos." And I thought, well, I can understand that. Some guys don't like sitting through this, but I want to let you guys know, with the whole COVID thing going on, everybody was sequestered. We couldn't get out and fish as much as we wanted to as well, but still trying to keep engaged and be positive and talk about a sport we love. I thought this would be a great way to just chat and talk about things we like to do. I try to bring on guests that are of interest to you guys, and even better is try to get some tips that we can pass along so we can all get a little bit better at our craft and do some things. So I'd really like your feedback. If you like this podcast stuff, I plan on keep doing it. We will be out doing more videos real soon. Like I say, trying to get back in the water. Right now, fishing's tough, so it may not be for a couple of weeks till things cool down. But let me know what you think. If you like these podcasts, if there's a topic you want us to cover, a guest you'd want to have on the show, drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you guys. We like all suggestions, good or bad. So don't feel bad about just, hit me an email up at poconogeorge@outlook.com or hit me up in a message right here on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I'd like to do both. I don't want to give this up because I really enjoy it. I love talking to other people, but at the same time, I do want to get back out and do some. Oh, we do have a call. Here's Jen Wang. Hello, Jen. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, George.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I figure I'd call in.
I'd appreciate that. How you doing, buddy? What have you been catching lately?
We're saltwater fishing.
I know you've been. What have you been catching? What have you been landing?
Fluke.
Fluke.
Nice. Grandpa, hang on a minute. Something's wrong with my. Hang on.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I have a problem with my my video feed. Now I gotta shut off your video.
Oh, okay.
He's probably getting looped audio.
Looped on it, yeah. That's okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Yeah. We've been fluke fishing. We fished the tournament yesterday.
How'd you make out, buddy?
We had engine trouble. We would have made third place
Oh man.
and money, but we had to get back to the dock. So
Well, okay. Did
I
you?
fished with Team TNT. Actually, we do good, but this time we had to head back home.
Yeah.
Head back to the barn.
That happens sometimes.
Yep.
It's better to be safe.
Yeah, but you were talking about panfish, and I wanted to tell you about those big white perch that I was catching in the spring and late spring.
Right.
They hit artificials. A lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting them on big rapalas,
Oh, okay.
Nice.
big shadow wraps, even rattle traps.
Okay.
Some of them they're not even as big as the lure. They're banging it. I swear they're killing it.
That's a real good point.
I caught some monsters, and when you find them in piles.
Yeah, that's
And
what
the big
Josh.
ones, you're going to get the big ones first. So I just wanted to add. I wanted to call in just to call in. You kept saying to call in, so here
No,
I am.
I appreciate that. You're our first caller. Well, we were talking about the white perch. Josh and I were just saying that he was out. Would you get a couple on a spoon last night?
Yeah, last night on spoons.
On spoons, yeah. So that's something different too, Jen.
Yeah, you get the bigger ones on the lures.
They are really aggressive. They got the striper blood running through their veins.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure.
So what else?
I mean, I've had two on at a time with the trebles.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, they're banging it. They're trying to kill it.
That's cool.
I
That's
don't know if they want to eat it or kill it or what, but they just destroy it.
well, we'll take all them we can get, right?
Yeah.
So what else you
Those
been
big
fishing?
ones, I released them. So
That's good. Let them breed, right?
yeah, big ones make big fish, make big babies.
You got
That's
it.
exactly right. Yep.
So what else you been out on, Jen? Anything else besides fluke and white perch?
That's it. They're concentrating on the tournaments. Pretty soon, the topwater bite is going to be killer, but some of the reservoirs are a little low
Right.
Okay.
for smallmouth, and that is my all-time favorite. Nothing better than smallmouth on topwater early in the morning.
Yeah, early. Yeah,
I don't think we'll disagree with that at all.
it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Maybe stripers early in the morning on top water, but
Oh
Yep.
yeah, that too. But
This time of year, it's gonna be tough to get them to come up, though.
yeah, it's gonna be very tough. Well,
Wow.
if you ever see Jen's Facebook page, a guy can
Yeah.
fish.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
the
he's-
smallies for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The stripers, I don't think you'll get those to come up in the hot water and heated top water now.
Now we got to give that a few weeks,
Yeah.
let things cool down a little bit. That's awesome. Well, good luck in those tournaments, Jen. I hope you win something, and be sure to drop us a line when you do. Let us know.
got you, George.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you, Jen. I really appreciate you calling in.
Talk to you next week.
All right, bud. Thanks, Jen. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Hey, we had a caller. Thank you, Jen. I really appreciate that. Oh, yeah, Stevie Davis. Hey, George and Josh. He says, "What's up, guys? What's up,
What's
Steve?
going on, buddy?
How you been hanging out there with those R2 guys out there by Harrisburg? We have to talk to Stevie and them guys too. A while.
Yeah, we should catch up with them.
Yeah, I know it's been a while since we talked to them. See how their fishing's
I
going.
wonder what they're doing.
I know. I talked to Catfish a couple weeks ago. He's been kind of he's got some other things going on. He hasn't been out a whole lot.
Okay.
I think him and his wife are out catching a few smallmouth and stuff like that. But
Sweet.
he's not been as active as he's been. Stevie, I haven't talked too much. It's been probably a month and a half since I talked to
Right.
Steve, so I have to get out and chat with those guys. I know Stevie Davis. He wants to come fish with us, or
Cool.
when we go out
Yeah.
there in Susquehanna, we'll have to bring Steve along.
We should make a trip to the
I know. We
Yeah.
got to do that. Got to do that. All right, guys. Well, if there's nobody else going to call in, we're going to move on to the next part of the show. And before we get too far, I'm going to do the trophy board first. So let's get this out of the way. Oh, hold on a second. We got Ryan Sturgis calling in. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, Ryan. How
going,
you doing,
Ryan?
buddy?
I'm doing. I just lost power, so
No, you're good.
in my car.
We got
Stay
you.
Cool.
You lost power at your house.
Yeah,
Oh, that's not good.
Lame.
but yeah, I just wanted to call in. I haven't really been out this much this week. My buddy was out on Wednesday and caught a couple 2-footers in the Delaware, some stripers.
Nice.
Nice.
Some holdovers.
But yeah, I don't know if they're moving out. He's giving it another shot tonight. It's a little too hot for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's what Josh is heading out tonight. He's going to give it a
Yeah, I'll
try.
probably head out tonight.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely a nighttime game.
what else you been catching, Ryan?
Gonna start targeting some smallies soon. Like I said, I haven't been out this week. It's been pretty busy,
Right.
but hopefully get out this week.
Yeah, it's just the weather's been tough and the water's that warm.
And like you guys were saying, the ramps are so crowded. It's almost like you even want to deal with it.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's probably worse this year than it's ever been, you know?
Oh, man.
Does seem bad. There's also been a lot more enforcement this year, too.
Yeah, I think so. Everybody's more aware of things going on.
Well, back on that closure, they closed a couple ramps on the Delaware, the Regisville ramp. Trying to think of the other two. But anybody's listening, just be mindful before you make the trip up there.
Yeah, that's a real good point, Ryan. Thanks for the heads up on that stuff.
All right, guys. Well, I really enjoy your show. Just wanted to call in.
Oh, thank you very much, Ryan.
Appreciate
We
it.
really do appreciate that.
I keep doing these podcasts if I were you, George. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate that. I said we're just trying to, bunch of guys sitting around the fire, having a beer, talking about fishing. That's what we like to do, and hopefully we can all learn a little bit more from it.
That's what it's all about. Thanks, George.
Brother. Thank you very much, Ryan. Really appreciate the call. Bye-bye.
Yep.
That's awesome. Ryan's a good guy too. Yeah. He's been on the trophy board a few times, so
definitely a name I see.
He knows how to catch them. But to talk about the trophy board, let's get back to that. So we got a few things. Actually, the trophy board this week is a little bit lean. I think the heat, everybody's just it's a little tough getting out there. But we have my good friend Eric Goodstall. He managed to get a really nice bass here, and he's fishing. Like we said, get off the grid, get away from those big lakes and parks. He's hitting some of those smaller ponds, streams, and private areas and getting into some really nice fish. Eric, he knows how to he can catch fish anywhere. He's one of those guys,
Very nice.
Captain Ian Britton, this is up in Lake Ontario, got himself a nice 27-pound king on Lake Ontario, and that's on Kings on the Run charters. So out there, like you guys were saying, the Ontario's on fire, and it certainly is. This was just caught the other day. Also, Justin Lerner out in the Passaic River, he's catching a bunch of pike. I think he caught like 4 or 5 that day.
I wasn't sure he knew how to catch pike.
Yeah, right. I think that's all he's doing right now. He's got that dialed in. So, Justin's always on something. So good work there, Justin. Bruce Pashley was out getting some stripers too, and he managed to hook into this one with a tag in it worth $250.
No way.
So look, you catch a nice striper and get paid for it on top of it, Bruce.
That's sweet.
It is sweet. Nice work there, Bruce. And go catch a bunch more and send us those pics as well. And Brandon Givens, I got you, Brandon. He actually won the tournament out there in the Susquehanna, and he was telling me he caught a couple of really nice smallmouth, 17, 18 inches, something like that. And he also got like I think it was a 27-inch catfish on 6-pound test line.
Ooh,
that's their handful.
That was a struggle, I'm sure.
But yeah, it's day on the water. Got himself. It was a kayak tournament, and got himself for a nice first place in the tournament there. So a little bit of cash and a trophy for the wall. You can't
go wrong with that.
No, not even a little bit. So it's a great day. Hey, congratulations, Bruce. Love to hear that stuff. And that's kind of a wrap up our trophy board this week. Like I said, there's not a whole lot going on. It's
hot for the fish, hot for the people.
Hot, exactly. So be sure you send us those picks next week. We need some more for the board. All right, that's going to bring up, before I get into the trivia giveaway, I got a couple things I got to do for a public service announcement. And also, if you guys got anything going on in your area, you got a tournament coming up, there's an activity going on for outdoors, and please drop me a line. We'll advertise it here on the show. Make sure you guys get a little more exposure for your event. And this week, we do have the Pennsylvania Outdoor Veterans, and we have the Wheels of Freedom Car, Bike, and Truck Show, also a craft and vendor fair. And that's Saturday, July 25th. 10 to 6 p.m. in Palmerton, right there at the park, And if you want more information, you can text 610-390-0963. Now, that event, from what I hear, is still on. But the second one is the second annual Sportsman's Bingo at the Tri-Borough Sportsman Club in Northampton. That one, there's a chance it could be postponed because of the governor's ruling on some of the COVID stuff back in the yellow, whatever. So be sure for information, text 610-390-0963 for information before you guys head out to that event. But we'll definitely make sure we get those things online. Send us your tournament, your event, so we can advertise it here for you as well. All right. So the trivia question this week, and we thought we'd do something. We were talking about muskie. What was the largest recorded muskie caught on rod and reel? Was it 76 pounds, 9 ounce, 67 pound, 8 ounce, 59 pound, 12 ounce? The largest recorded muskie on record, world record muskie. We need some answers here. First person to give me that will get a gift certificate for a free 1-year subscription to the Fisherman Magazine. Great publication. You know we all love that. Stevie Davis goes, boo, COVID. Hey, Guy, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining in. Jen, no, not 76. Ryan Sturgis says 60. Yes, Ryan, it is 67 pounds, 8 ounces. Thank you very much, Ryan. We'll get the, this is coming your way, buddy. I'll hit you up after the show, get your address, and we can mail this out to you. Thank you very much for playing. But yeah, that answer, 67 pounds, 8 ounce. It was 60 and a quarter inches in length and was caught by Cal Johnson July 24th, 1949. That's how long that record is.
Long-standing record.
I think we got to break that. Let's go do that. We're going to give Tim Keebler a call and go break that record.
Seriously, yeah. You hear a lot of people who claim they've caught a 60-inch muskie, and then you tell them that that would be the world record, and they kind of take a step back. Right.
That's awesome. So, yeah, thank you very much, Ryan. So you got a double shot. You got on the show, and we're going to get this out to you as well. Congratulations. That's kind of going to wrap things up for the show. I really appreciate you guys calling in. It was a real fun show. If you'd like us to do more of these, please drop me a note. We'd love to talk to you. I'll try to give you a little more notice. Maybe we can get more people on the show. And what do you think? Wrap things up for the day.
That sounds good, George. It's been fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you guys so much. And again, we'll talk to you next week. Got a few folks to thank here. Again, Tim Keebler at FinSeeker River Guide Service. Be sure you book your trip now, 215-262-4811. The great folks at Tony Maja Products, the Fisherman Magazine, of course. And email me those pics or send them to me on Facebook, PoconoGeorge@outlook.com. We'd love to hear from you. Give us any suggestions, even hate mail. I'll take your hate mail. Doesn't matter. We want to do things better for you, so give us a shout, okay? That's kind of going to wrap things up. We'll talk to you next week, and have a great week, and get out on that water. See you next time.